This podcast is for anyone tired of sitting on the couch watching fucking Netflix. For anyone who wants to know how to break the 9-to-5 slave life. For anyone who wants to be better tomorrow than they are today. I want to help you learn how to break the cycle. This is your story, and you have to write it. Come on in. We're just getting started. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Getting Started podcast. As always, I'm your host, Sean Hunter. We're back again today with my boy, Sid Clevinger. We're going for round 2. And y'all, Sid's got some awesome information he's going to drop on y'all today. Some fire nuggets. I hope you're listening. Hope you're paying real close attention. Sid, brother, how are you today? How you doing
What's up, man? How are you? It's glad to be back. Thanks for having me back, Sean.
Hey, man, anytime. I love you, brother. You know, this tribe that we have connected with has definitely been a life-saving godsend to my world.
Appreciate it, man.
Everything that you and Tiffany and your whole tribe has done for me has been just out of this world. And for anyone out there that's listening that has not connected with Sid or Tiff yet, that's Tiffany Toombs, get on Facebook, get on LinkedIn, get on Instagram, connect with these people because they will change your life, period.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, man.
So Sid, man, last time you was here, man, we was talking about your come up story. You're getting into all this, becoming a digital marketer, making the big move from Kentucky to Dallas and not knowing a single person. All you had was, a couple $100 in a duffel bag.
Yeah.
Now here you are, you live the big city, you've done the Dallas scene, and you are now in this nice, quaint little town of Little Elm.
Very quaint little town, and I love it.
Back to your down south country roots.
Yeah, it's, I love it. We went north to go south. We were living
only in Texas can you say that.
Only in Texas. Florida, you can say that too.
Touche.
Yeah, I live there, unfortunately, as well. But no, man. So we live downtown. We love the fast life. Last time we chatted, it wasn't a bad thing. Last time we chatted, we just lived downtown and we lived right middle of downtown, 23rd floor, whatever it was. And, overlook the city and all that noise and sound and cranes and all that just everywhere and when we moved here, I tell you, it was really funny when we moved here and I grew up in the suburbs. So I grew up in Eastern Kentucky. So I'm used to this. And we came up here and we were like, okay, so we're really, if we're going to do this, we're going to 180 it. We're going to go from city to country, And so Tiffany, my wife, she really wanted it because she for those of you that might know Tiffany, she's a massive introvert. So she wanted it up here. She's like, quiet, peace, stay at home all day, 2,500 square foot house. Oh yes, baby. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, really? It's gonna be so boring. So we get here and it is neat. I mean, you see, I'm sitting in my office right now. So I have an office. Before my office was a desk and 3 feet behind me, because we were in a very small, city apartment. Right. And we were barely ever there. We always worked. We were always out working somewhere. And then it was nuts. We laugh about it to this day, but I'm sitting down here and then Tiffany has the whole office upstairs. So she has all upstairs, the whole den. And we're sitting here and I'm like, holy crap. I remember when our offices were 10 feet apart and we were cool with it. And we had to figure out how to make it work 10 feet apart because I'm loud, you're loud, and we're constantly on the phone. And now it's we're having to call each other from different parts of the house because we can't hear each other. So, I mean, it's hilarious, but at the same time, it's definitely, it's been cool. We've noticed that, our stress has went way down. And it was one of the things I think probably the biggest lesson I've learned in the move is I didn't even realize how high my stress level was or that I was living in this kind of elevated stress levels. And just not knowing it because that was, that was what I did. And, and then when I moved here, I remember the first few days I'd come in, I'd get my work done. It was 2 and I'd be like, Tiff, I'm done. I what do I do now? And I remember that. And it was just kind of, so I think just coming into this environment and I mean, it's a little different now. I'm figuring it out now. It's definitely not as much of a change now because we've kind of gotten into our own little routines. But I mean, when we first got here, it was I would get my stuff done and I'd be like, what do I do now? I can't go do this. I can't go do that. I'm not downtown. I can't go explore. like, so what do I do? And I literally just kind of got in the habit of like, okay, so instead of trying to, for me, I would like just go, get the stuff done as fast as I can. I'm now able to slow down and put a little bit more of touch on it, which is better, because I'm not just like, delegating the stuff to my team and getting them to do it. And then whatever spits out based on what we've talked about. I'm able to put my own little touch on it, which, has ultimately really helped a lot of our clients. Not only, they were succeeding before, but really just kind of helped them see the vision a little bit quicker, and be able to execute a little bit faster. So that's obviously a good thing.
Well, and sometimes that's what you got to step back in order to step up. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about here, man, is, you have stepped back, but even in stepping back, you have scaled up. So let's talk something about that. Let's, before we talk about, getting started in all this from the get-go, from the beginning. So let's talk about getting started on leveling up, man. Let's talk a little bit about where you were, let's say 6 months ago, and what it has taken for you and Tiff both to really step up and get to this point.
Well, for me, one of the things that I noticed and Tiffany noticed was that, we have a great coach that we work with who's really turned into a really good friend, Alex. And, he, at first when we met him, he was like, I feel like you all are just like, you're going down this massive like forest, and you all are just grabbing all the trees and all the money that's right in front of you, instead of holding tight and going and building something that has even more forest. Like, you kind of felt like you're in this kind of dead forest and you're trying to pick at all these trees because the money's right there in front of you. And then you get stuck. Instead of just holding tight, instead of saying yes to everything, you say no to everything, and you go only focus on one thing. And I remember I fought with him on that for so long. I was like, dude, like, I'm not going to like stop working and focus on this one thing for a month or two, and then it blow up and it not work. And then all of a sudden I'm 2 months down. Right. So that was kind of my initial thing was, I'm a little mad and I was a little upset about it, but at the same time, as I've kind of just reluctantly, it doesn't mean that I magically get happy, but reluctantly over the past 3 months, to see what we've built and what's happening, like stuff's happening at just like twice the speed. So, like the stuff that would normally take us 2 days to get done is not taking us a day. And it's because we've been able to delegate a proper way. We've been able to build out the blueprint. We've been able to operate just like literally just sit on top of the blueprint and like literally operate the business, like let the business operate itself. And like, I'd never done that before. I used to always try to push and force. Now I just kind of let the business do its thing.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about that, man. Like you were so busy working in the business that you weren't be able to sit back and work on the business. So what, for those out there,
I didn't really know the difference, man. Like, I didn't really know the difference. Like, everybody would tell me that, like, Sid, you got to work on the business. You're working in the business too much. What does that mean? I'm working. Like, I'm working. This needs to get done. I get it done. This needs to get done. I get it done. I'm not going to sit there and give it to somebody else to screw it up for the next 3 days when I need it done tomorrow. And then I have to go in and do it anyway. That was my mindset. I had no idea how to delegate. I had no idea how to manage. I had no idea I didn't even know what an SOP was. And for those of you that are on here that aren't listening to SOP, it's completely cool. I didn't know what it was 6 months ago. Now now I hear that word like 50 times a day. An SOP is basically a system and process. So it's basically a list of instructions that you're giving someone else that's repeatable that someone else can follow. So like, in the past 90 days or so, I've written like 150 SOPs for my company. And those SOPs are literally like, okay, you're going to do this today. It should take approximately this amount of time. And this is what you're going to do. And then I build out a list of SOPs for my help. So we go out and we get virtual assistants. And then, we took 70 to 80% of the workload, the daily workload, that is what we would classify as minimum wage activities, off of our plate. So now we're only focused on income generating activities, which is helping us only focus on money coming in.
Awesome, man. That's definitely the way to do it. And I'm still learning all that myself.
Your business is, man, your coaching business is awesome. You guys are going to blow up, and I'm going to eat this maple bacon.
Man, one of these days I'm coming to Texas. I'm hanging out with you guys, and I'm going to teach you how to properly cook, man. Because being from the South, you don't. Like, man, you ask too many questions about this cooking. Like, man, you got to know these things. You're a Southern boy. You know this stuff.
I'm from Kentucky. I'm half Southern. I'm from Kentucky. I'm half Southern.
No, you're Southern, man. Once you get above Kentucky, that's where it all goes down.
Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better because typically Kentucky was always left out.
Well, see, here's the thing, and it's just something my own personal views because I have traveled the entire country. I been to I think it's like 37 different states now or 38. I can't remember anymore.
Yeah.
As long as you know what sweet tea is and you've tasted sweet tea and you can drink sweet tea, you're
That's
Southern.
true.
It's just
That's true. We got sweet tea here. It's called Milos. Yeah, man. It's funny. You mentioned it before we hopped on here. I've never really done much more but water. Like, we do orange juice in the morning. So for those of you who might have seen Tiffany come in, like we always do orange juice in the morning. So I do have orange juice every morning. Some people might say that's not healthy. Probably isn't. But it gives me energy and it's exactly what I need. And like, it's the taste and the trigger that I put in my brain. When I taste orange juice and I taste coffee, it's go time. And like, that's kind of like what I've always kind of set up in my brain. And it's that trigger, right? And it's the same trigger, like, as an online business owner, I was, 6 months ago, like you mentioned, I was running around, bro. I was running around. I had all these systems in my head. I had all these things in my head. I wanted, it all made sense to me. Everything made sense to me. Like, oh, well, this is how you prospect. And then this is how you sell. And then this is how you get them on the phone. And then this is how you congregate them. And then this is how you fulfill. And then this is how you make sure they're happy. And then this is how you get them to give you referrals. And then this is what you do if they say no and they're not ready. So I had all these things. I'm like, bam, all these different pieces. And like sitting down and doing the blueprint, it was all in my head for so long. People are blown away that it took me like 40 minutes. Like I was sitting in this office and I was sitting here and I was like, screw it. Like I'm going to do it. I had no idea what I was doing. I went over to Google Drawing. So I was just learning like Google Docs and Google, what the other one, Google Drive and all that. And like, I go into Google Drawing and I'm, is this like, what? And I'm in there. It took me 40 minutes just to figure out how to make a square. And then, but no, like, once I figured it out and got started, Alex did help a little bit with kind of like getting started, showed me a couple things on it. And then, and then after that, it was just like, okay, I got the hang of it. Let's put this sucker together. It took about an hour. And, it's now been shared over 1,000 times in less than a month. Sorry, man. So yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of the thing. It's like a lot of people now, they're all at home. We're all at home, and it's real easy to blame what's going on with what's going on, right? And it doesn't have to be coronavirus. It can be anything. It can be coronavirus. It can be the fact that somebody just got sick in your family. It could be that something is halting whatever is the number one thing in your life right now. And you could easily go out there and say, oh, it's that's fault. I'm just not going to do it. You could shrivel up and you can die. And then you could once remember that one time, right? Well, instead, I'm all about like self-care and all that. But at the same time, you got to consistently be moving forward. You got to consistently be learning. You got to consistently be getting 1% better every day. And you got to consistently be I want to say pushing your limits, but you just got to be consistently be creative and adventurous. Like if there's one thing that I was, Sean, is that I'm adventurous. I'm the guy that's going to go out there and I'm going to find the gold all over the world and all over the universes. I'm going to bring it back to our world where people like you and our other hundreds of students can shine. And they can use the treasures that I'm able to go off into other universes and find, and then they can use those treasures to better themselves. That's exactly the world that I've built. I've built a world of abundance. I've built a world of purpose-driven entrepreneurs. I've built a world of entrepreneurs that want to learn. And then what we're looking to do is we go out there and all we do is serve them. We aim at serving them every single week. We aim at doing, anything and everything that we can. You see us in the groups. You see us in the trainings. We're there every day. We're on the camera. And I think that a lot of that is that, and, I know it sounds like a hodgepodge, but if you're not getting on camera every day and making mistakes, I made mistakes. I just coughed, I couldn't talk. I just talked. Who cares? I'm human. I'm going to cough, I'm eating bacon. I'm eating really, really good. This is like maple glazed over, like maple sugar, like candy bacon. Who cares? I'm a human. There's probably people are going to be listening to this in their car, eating, drinking coffee. Who cares? My whole point is, if there was one thing that I could take out of this world, John, and I love you for it, like me and you have always resonated because of this. 5 words. Brendan says this a lot. What would someone else think? Or what will people think? That's 4 words. If you were to take that out of your vocabulary, if you were just to go out there and live in your superpower every single day, you know what your superpower is. You know that you do it every single day. So constantly you feel it in your gut. You know how good you are at it. You know exactly what it's going to do for you and for others. And you see it in your head. And everybody around you, that everybody sees you, is always talking about that superpower, that thing. And that thing might not be this big, massive thing that no one else could do. A lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's a very mundane thing that millions of people can do, but no one can do it your way. And then once you figure that out, it's all about building a world to where you can conjugate people who need help with that superpower. That's it, right? And it doesn't matter if we're online, offline, sideways line, whatever. Our goal is to get people to come and visit our world of influence, whether that's a store, whether that's a restaurant, whether that's a doctor's office, or whether that's an online business. Our job is to get people to come and visit our world of our superpowers, where our superpowers are abundant, and then they can come and visit and see how our superpowers help people. And then once they do that, they can then keep coming around. They can come back tomorrow, the next day, right? And then maybe they decide they want to be a resident and they want to have a permanent vacation home here, so they can come and visit every day for an hour or 2, right? My point is our goal is to continually build that community. And then as we're building that community, we can then serve that community every single day. So ultimately, that's what we're doing. Ultimately, that's what we've done. And ultimately, that's been a big shift in really the blueprint and understanding where traffic is flowing. The first third of the blueprint is figuring out where traffic is flowing and then directing traffic based on yes or no answers. So before, I would look at this blueprint and I'd be, okay, I'm doing the friend request hack. I'm doing my LinkedIn. I'm doing my posting. I'm doing my press. I'm doing all this stuff. And I'm just trying to find that one person or that 2 people a day that I can get my hook on, and then I can go and attack, right? I did that forever. I would throw all this massive stuff out there just to find 1 or 2 people. And then that was it. I'd find my 1 or 2 people, make my, thousands of dollars, and I'd be done. And then once I understood how to flow all the traffic to the same places and know exactly where every single person was being led, I'm now able to calculate specifically what lead points are working better, what buying decisions are happening every month, where we need to be focusing our efforts, as well as who's ready to buy and who's not. I'm literally able to take all these buckets and I'm able to literally break these buckets down and know exactly who to reach out to for what. And I think that, that if I was to take one thing out of my business beforehand that wasted a lot of time, it was that. I didn't know I would have thousands of people who would come and visit our world every day. I had no idea what stage of the process they were in or what part of the value ladder they were in, and I didn't know what messages to send out to them. Now I do.
There you go, man. Definitely. Now,
that was long. My bad.
Oh, it's cool, man. It's cool, man. You just dropped a ton of fire right there. But there is one thing I want to go back and unpack a little bit more, man. Especially, we're kind of running a little bit low on time here, so I want to try to wrap things up a little bit. This has been kind of your main play. You're kind of acing the hole for the last several months now. And I don't know if it's just something you figured out that kind of clicked in your head all of a sudden, or if it was just something you've been working on building up for a while. You talk about unlocking and unleashing your superpower. So just kind of real quickly, man, explain to everybody out there just exactly what it is that your superpower is, not necessarily you personally, just what is your superpower? How did you find it? And how do others go about finding their superpower?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that, I think that the superpower, I kind of touched on it a little bit in the past. I think I'm a big believer that everybody was put on this earth with a specific skill set. And don't get me wrong, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, if you were to tell me that, I probably would have secretly believed you, but I would have never admitted it. I would have never publicly came out and said, I have a superpower, because I would have been so scared about what my friends or family or anybody else would have thought. So I think at first, I'm a big believer as well, because I've seen this too many times at too many masterminds we've had or too many shows or whatever. I'm a big believer that you already know what it is, that you've known what it is for a long time. Sean, you know what your superpower is. You've known about it since I started preaching this. And I'm a big believer that a lot of people subconsciously know what it is, but they don't want to admit it, or they second guess themselves because it might not be the exact one that they wanted to have in their head, right? Oh, well, I'm going to go be the superpower of glitter. Why? You know, like, I mean, I'm just making stuff up, but you know what I mean? Like, and I think for me, I had always been able to talk to people. That was it. I knew how to walk up and make conversation with people. And to some of you, you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, yeah, can you teach me that? That's such an easy superpower. Y'all, to me, ask Sean, to me, where I come from in the South, everybody does that. Everybody knows how to walk up to a stranger and start a conversation. Everybody knows that. So like for me, I'm sitting there and I'm like, let me do it. It's not a superpower. How is this a superpower? No one cares. And then when I moved to Florida and a little bit because I was around a lot of people that weren't Southern. So I figured it made a little bit more sense. And then the week before, man. So like the week before, not the week before, I also had lived in Kentucky where it made a little bit more sense. Right. And I was around a lot more people that could do it. So I just didn't think it was a superpower. And then I came to Texas. And even though Texas is very similar, you know, I'm around, it's a lot bigger of a footprint. So like I'm around a lot of different types of people. So it does allow me the opportunity to see how the superpower shines. Mine is simply talking to people. And to a lot of people, some of you, you're like, no, talking to people, really? Isn't that like something that we were born to do? Like you get up when you're 2 years old, you start talking. And then your whole job in talking is to be able to communicate. It was so easy to me that I was blinded by it. I've had people where their superpowers were to make chocolate chip cookies, like from scratch, make blackberry cobbler. I've had people who their superpower has been to braid hair. It's been to cut hair. It's been to, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be this massive thing. A lot of people want to make it into this, I am the ruler of the mental health institute, of the world. It's like, guys, like, no, you're not. And there's no reason to try to say that. You're the ruler of being able to do X with the one person that's in front of you right now, or the small group of people that's in front of you right now. And like, that's kind of the thing. Like, you already have this superpower. And the truth of it is, you're probably already conjugating and helping people with it. You just don't see it because you don't think that it's work. You don't think that it's something that is hard to do. You just do it because you love doing it and you're good at it. So my whole thing is just go out there and live your superpower. Be who you are every day and bring the joy. Every day, just be happy. Every day, just go out there and be happy that you're able to live in your superpower. Basically come out and, do the superpower and then like go out there and live in that superpower every day. Like, that's another one thing. Don't change it. You're not this today. And then next week your superpower changes. I see that a lot too. Oh, it didn't stick this week. I'm going to change my superpower next week. See if it sticks. I see that a lot. No, what your superpower, mine is talking to people. It's been talking to people for years. That's my superpower. So take this superpower and go help as many people as you can with it, because ultimately that's what's going to make you successful. Not changing your superpower every week, not juggling which is this or which is better. Take your superpower, go show it off every day, and attract and bring people back to your world that want to learn more about it. And you're going to live a very, very happy life.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, man. Sid, man, thanks for coming back on the show.
Yeah, man, for sure.
One of these days we'll sit down together. We'll do round 3 again.
I can't wait, man. We got to get you to Dallas.
Dude, I'm working everything I can to get down there as fast as possible, man. Especially
we got to get you to Dallas, man. And, I want people to think, like, right now, a lot of people are complaining about this corona and all this craziness that's going on. There's a lot of craziness going on, whatever you want to call it. I probably shouldn't say corona on air, but whatever you want to call it. Know this. It's not difficult. It's only different. There's a lot of opportunity right now. And if you were to think about some of the bigger companies that came to innovation, Go back to the Great Depression and look at what companies came from that. Right now, we are in a time of innovation. We're in a time of new. We're in a time of people right now, and some of the smartest minds right now are locking themselves up in their caves, and they're look at what Tony Robbins has done. I mean, we're in a time of innovation. We're in a time of possible
like
change.
a massive virtual seminar.
He does. So his big
30,000
thing is
people
Unleash the
online.
Power Within is his big show. So what he's doing from his basement is he's now like doing the world's largest Zoom call where there's like 2,500 people on a single Zoom call while he's doing Unleash the Power Within. And he has all these monitors in a room.
Yeah, I seen that. That was just wild looking.
Yeah. I mean, he's the only one that's done it on that scale. He broke so many world records. He spent
kind of wish I'd known about it ahead of time.
He spent like $6 million to make it happen.
Whew.
Yeah.
But for Tony Robbins, that's a $20 bill to you and me.
Nah, you say that. I mean, still, I think that money's money. I think that if you were to ask, it's funny that you say that because when we met Ron Lynch and we became friends with him, I'll never forget, like, one of the things he said is, like, the richer people that typically in our game, like the richer people that you meet are the people that have, kind of on a farther journey than you and have done really well. You're typically going to run into some of the most nicest people that you'll ever meet. So, I mean, like, I think Tony has done really well. I've never met him, but I mean, like, I will say this, like, other people that I've met that are like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 figure earners, typically the more money they have, the nicer they are. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it's the more generous they are. They want to help. Like, you look at Bill Walsh or James Dentley is like freaking blowing, he was before coronavirus, and coronavirus happened and all of his event went down. But I mean, like, me and him, like, he met me and then, like, every day, how can I get you on an event? How can I get you on an event? How can I get you on an event? I want you to speak with me again. I want you to, it's just like, he's doing everything he can to help me. And I'm like, bro, like, I haven't paid you any money. Like, why do you want to help me? So, like, I think that's one of the things that, look at it as well. When you're in the lower part of the rung and in anything, if you're in single A baseball or short league, versus being in the MLB, or you're in the development league in basketball and not in the NBA, then, or if you're in the CFL, Canada Football League, but not in the NFL. I think when you're you got more scrappy people at that level, more people that are going to, hustle, grind, and do whatever they can. But if you were to look at the history of things, that also happens in the development league. They don't care. You're a body to them and possibly someone that can come in when they get hot. You're in the NBA, that's development league. In the NFL, you're in the CFL because you got knocked down. Look at Johnny Manziel. He couldn't make the NFL ever again, right? And then you got, the MLB where you're in single A short league. Those people are just doing anything they can to play full baseball again. Do you not think that they're going to play with broken knuckles and broken, sprained ankles and do whatever it is and scrap every single play, every single foul ball, every single, everything, every single pitch. It could mean $100,000 to them, right? I mean, which could mean the world to them at the time. So my point is once you break through and once you stay true to yourself and you live in your superpower every day and you keep your head down, your eyes forward, and you only keep your eye on the prize, before you know it, it happens fast. Like, you look at one of our clients, Roshana, she's 6 months in and her life is completely changed. It happens fast. And you'll know that, you just sort of feel this, like, I don't know, you sort of feel this like energy kind of come over you. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm getting in my routine. I'm getting to go on what I'm doing. I see, and like every single day, new and bigger doors start showing up in front of you, ready for you to open. I can't explain it. Like, every day, if I focus on getting 1% better 4 or 5 times a day, 4 or 5 times a week, like every day, I'm focusing on doing this every day. I'm going out there and doing whatever I need to do every single time. Not one time is not happening. Every single time a new opportunity shows up. Every time. So I trust it. Anyway, I figured that'd be a good way for us to end.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. It's a great way. Great note to end on. Great way to wrap it up, man.
Yeah, man.
Sid, man, I know you're a busy man. Have an amazing rest of the day, brother. We'll definitely get down for round 3. And like I said,
get your butt to Dallas, man.
Dude, I'm working on it. Me and the family's putting some plans into motion right now where we're going to start getting out of here, at least every other month, taking a trip somewhere.
You got to do something. Yeah, you got to do
weekends. Something. Especially, with the way the world is right now and everybody's being locked up, it's driving people insane. People are going stir crazy, cabin fever and all that stuff. But, man, we are definitely going to make it happen. One of these days it's going to happen, and hopefully it's going to be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it probably is a good thing you're not out here in July. It's kind of hot. Like I have to go change my pants because it's probably like 110 out already.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I appreciate it. And yeah, everybody, we all win when we all win. If you want to learn more, if you like this and you want to learn more, Sean's a part of this, just go over and visit our community. A free community of purpose-driven entrepreneurs, thousands of purpose-driven entrepreneurs we've been able to build over the last couple of months. It's absolutely free. We want to invite you. We want you to come and visit our world. You can go check that out at www.successsecretsgroup.com. Sean has the link, so I'm sure we'll put it in the show notes. And then, yeah, just come visit our world and, really just come and shine your superpower. Come and see what it's like to be around others who are shining their superpower every single day. Thousands of people who are coming in there to shine their superpower and help the world make a better place. That's what we're looking to do. That's what we've done. We've been able to help thousands of people in the past 6 months in the process. So I can't wait to see you there too.
Everybody, you heard it directly from the man himself. Head on over there, get in the group, check it out, have fun, share your story, share your superpowers with the rest of us.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'll see you all right here next time on the Getting Started podcast.
Absolutely. Thanks, man, brother.